As Regina begins the process of deciding how it will build a series of mega projects that could shape the city's downtown core for decades to come, it's running into two issues: time and inflation. The city was never going to attempt to build a new aquatic facility, a new central library, and a new arena at the same time. It just doesn't have enough money. As a result, the Catalyst Committee is recommending that Regina plot out how and when it plans to build each of the projects over the next 10 to 20 years. Experts say that is a good idea.
I think it is an important exercise process to go through to plan for the future, rather than reacting in a very, making decisions in a relatively or much shorter time frame.
But with inflation climbing and no sign that it will slow anytime soon, that could be a problem. Even the co-chairs of the Catalyst Committee recognize that.
The first lesson about inflation is if you can find a way to do it now, because in 10 years it's going to be 60% more expensive, if not more so.
The Catalyst Committee report says projects that begin in the next 2 years could cost nearly 40% more than initial projections. And the longer they take to build, the more the projects will cost. Anything done a decade from now could see the cost balloon by 80%.
That will change whether some of these facilities go. Today is always the cheapest day to build. It always is. We simply can't afford to build it all.
Inflation has already had an effect on the committee's recommendations. Instead of the modern aquatic center that was presented during public consultations late last year, the Catalyst Committee is now recommending a scaled-back version to replace the aging Lawson Pool. The main reason? Inflation. It could mean some tough choices are in store for City Council as it starts to weigh its options. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.